Good evening and welcome to another live stream from our home in Italy in beautiful, beautiful Abruzzo. How's everybody doing? Everybody keeping well? Let me know that you are. Chat away in the chat box. Tony, my numbers are still not up, so I don't know if you can let me know. You know what I'm trying to say. That's Tony, the producer I'm talking to, by the way, just in case you wondered. It's Troy. Hello from Predsa. There you go. Another evening putting furniture together. That's what I like to hear, Troy. I could just imagine him stressing away there. Oh yeah, you've got to love IKEA. I'm saying nothing to do with IKEA. Hope everybody's doing well. Let us know where you are in the world, what you're up to, what you're doing right away in the chat box, just so I know I'm not sat here talking to myself. Tonight is the big catch-up. We've got I'm excited. I'm actually excited. Shall we get these? We do a new thing now, guy. I forgot to tell you. So, Pete, we want a little wave from you because Pacentro Pete's coming on. Big wave for us, Pacentro. Oh, it's great to see Pacentro. I don't know how to get him off the tree now. Oh, there you go. And then we've also got some other regulars. It's Mark and Naida. Sorry, Pete. I'm showing what am I doing here. I've got everybody on. Tony's there.
What's happening?
I don't know. It's these buttons. They all seem to get closer together. It's either that or my eyesight.
We have an hour set up, and it all goes to pop when you actually come
you were going to say something. You were going to say something else, then, weren't you? Yeah. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. So yeah, we're going to have a catch up with our very own Pacentro Pete. He's back. He's back in Italy. He's been doing his Schengen shuffle. So we're going to find out a little bit more about that and what he's doing with his visa. And then we're going to talk to Mark and Naida, who've got some news about their elective residency visa, which they applied for at the Miami office. So those of you who are hoping to apply at Miami, then let's see what happens. Is it good news? Is it bad news? I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to wait and see. What else have we got, Tom?
No idea.
You've no idea. No Tony's idea. Going on holiday. That's a new thing.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I am going.
And it's 3 o'clock. I can't believe you're setting off at 3 o'clock
in the morning. Yeah.
Why are you setting off at 3? By the way, do you like my new earphones?
Oh yeah, lovely. Suit you. Yeah. Suit your new haircut.
I think she went a little bit close to the wood this morning. I think she's too busy talking and with the shaver in her hand. Not going down that line. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, why are you setting off at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Well, it's Fiumicino. We've got to get to the car park, and then we've got to have plenty of time. I hate rushing. I've got to be there. I'd sooner be there early and then relax.
But when we say early, so let's just get this into context. 3 o'clock in the morning, you're setting off.
Yeah.
And your flight is about 9 hours later.
Well, no, it's at 11:45. Yeah, so
which do the maths.
Yeah.
No, 8 hours 45 minutes. So nearly 9 hours, and you're setting so it takes to Fiumicino. Bear in mind, I mean, it's going to take maximum 3 hours.
Oh, well, I'll have to stop on the way because it's a long way. So I'm taking sandwiches. We're going to have something to eat on the way.
Have a picnic. Have a picnic on the motorway. Do it in the motorway and we'll do a live
in the Auto Grill car park.
Is that what you do? Use their facilities and eat your own sandwich?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
There is nothing. See, us Northerners from England, that's what we do. That's what we do.
Exactly.
There you go. Well, you're not really Northern. You're from that weird part of. And it's bonfire night in England as well. Just remember.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I'm pleased I missed it.
I used to love bonfire night.
No, I used to hate
Absolutely. That's one thing that I miss. And I can imagine now all the Americans, Canadians, Australians, everyone are thinking, what's bonfire night? And who cares? Well, I used to enjoy bonfire night. It was good.
I didn't mind going to the bonfire shows, firework things.
Bonfire show.
You know what they call it?
You never bother with a bonfire show. You just have a bonfire and just eat and drink.
Oh no, we never
pretty much like every night here in Italy, but without a bonfire.
Well, I used to do it. It used to go terribly wrong.
Yeah,
there's Catherine wheels flying all over the place.
I've got a great. This is
horizontal.
This is a true story. I'm going to tell it. I hope nobody minds, even though it's supposed to be an Italian thing. Don't worry, guys. We're coming to you in a short while. But I've got this is a true story. This is my bonfire night story. We set it. We had a small garden in the back of the house, I think Alana, our daughter, was probably about 3, something like. No, she must have. No, she should have been younger than that because we moved here when she was probably 18 months, something like that. So we got these rockets to set off, set it all up in the garden. I dug the hole and put a tube in. Obviously, me digging up a hole, that's the start.
We used to use milk bottles.
Yeah, no, I can't remember. I can't remember what I used. In fact, I probably didn't dig. I probably just stuck it in the ground. So we had some patio doors that we flung open at the back, and Alana was in Silvana's arm, and it literally the rocket was sat like this, and it lit just as we lit it. I went running back into the house, and it literally went like that and shot straight into the house. It went flying past me. Alana was scarred for life. Flying past me and started exploding in the living room. I was absolutely terrified. It just seemed to go on for thank God it wasn't one of those 15-minute sort of Chinese things that you can buy. Anyway, there you go. That's bored everybody.
Well, yeah,
see you later, Tom. Why do we talk? Guy Fawkes night? That's right, Troy. That's exactly right. Why do we talk about these things? But that was a memory that just came up. So I thought I would share that with you. You don't mind, do you? Good. Let's do some notices. So the tours. It's not wild next. What was this? We used to have bonfire night in Australia, but they banned it. Too many injuries from the crackers. Crackers. I've not heard it called that for ages. I bet you call that, don't you? Do you say crackers?
Yeah, crackers. Yeah.
That's what my granddad.
Crackers and bangers.
Yeah, bangers. Yeah, but crackers. Anyway,
yeah.
There you go. Just thought I'd share that. What was I saying? Yeah, the tours start up again next year. So I think I told you before we had some a fantastic tour group on. People are now starting to book. So have a look at the tours. Those of you who don't know what they are, Patrick, it's Palambaro Patrick. I didn't realize you were still here, Palambaro Patrick. The tours are a fantastic way to see the area. So make sure you go onto the website and have a look, because they are starting to book up, especially May. For some reason, May has gone absolutely mad, and we started taking quite a few bookings for May. But the tours are designed. We usually try and see around 20 properties. On the not the last tour, but the one before, we managed to do 26 properties in 2 days and 10 different locations. But we always try and get at least 20 properties in there, see a good amount of locations, travel around in a group like this one. See some amazing places. This is in Predsa. You can see the old town over on the right hand side, dragging these people up the hill. They loved that. It was boiling as well that day. If I remember rightly, I think I stood at the bottom handing water out just in case anybody needed it. Always the right thing to do. Here's another group in Vittorito. Penepiedimonte, always a favorite with the tourers. Looking over towards Palambaro and Carsoli. What else have we got on here? This is Palambaro again. This is the last tour that we did. And in the same tour, then we ended up dragging them through fields and things like that. Because the way it works is if you don't sign a contract, then we leave you stranded in the middle of the countryside and to find your own way back to Pescara. It's all good fun. That's a joke, by the way, just in case you wondered. So if you are interested in joining a tour, then please visit the website at homeinitaly.com and click on the tours, and it tells you all about it on there. And you can book. We're doing one in March. I'm saying I should put this on, shouldn't I, Tone? I thought you might have done that, but hang on a minute. Where is it? I'll do your job for you. It's all right. Here we go. 2026 tour dates. We've got the 26th and 27th of March, 23rd, 24th of April, and 28th and 29th of May. So bookings have started coming in, and especially for May, for some strange reason. For me, I think March and I mean, they're all brilliant times, don't get me wrong, but I like weather to be a little bit cooler. Springtime is fantastic here, even though it's still sort of early 20s usually, but March and April are a fantastic time to come and view. So if you are interested, go onto the website and come and see us. What else was I going to say? I can't remember what else I was going to say. Oh, yes, Patreon. Let's just touch on that just for a few minutes. Patreon, I've said to people on Patreon that there's going to be a slight change to their membership because it's going to include a forum that's going to be a big part of Patreon. At the moment, Patreon there is a chat section on there, and people do use it. And it's fantastic because there's about 170 something members, I think, on Patreon, and the chat room is good, great, and people are looking at it. But we really want to get a forum open where people can enjoy, look back on old topics, and we want to get a good mixture of people that's already bought here, people that are looking to buy, people that's been on tours, and create this community. And I did say that the forum will be up and running by January. By January. It probably will be, actually. Tom, stop laughing.
No, that sounds about.
Well, what was that? Sorry, what sarcastic comment were you going to say?
No, sounds about right. January. That's.
Yeah, well, there is a genuine reason.
What reason?
You'll hear. So at the moment, there is a chat room inside Patreon, but obviously this forum is going to be so much better. I've set the forum up. Everything is set up. When I sent it live, I got so many spam things. It was unbelievable. So then I found a way around the spam thing. I got rid of that. And obviously we need to control who's going to be on there, because it's not going to be an open forum. It's not going to be a forum where everybody can just sort of jump on there, because we want it to be specific to people that's here, people that's interested in our brood sub. As time goes on and we move into other areas, and that will slightly change as well. We'll add some other areas in, but it's going to be all about our brood sub. And we want to get people in there that's not going to be argue, even though no doubt people always argue anyway, but we're trying to limit that as much as possible and just get a great forum. So I've got a membership controlling software. Do I sound convincing?
No.
It's true, though. It's true. There is this software that controls the membership, and I've now bought it. I bought all the extensions that go with it. I just now need to work out how to actually do it. So I am getting there. The Patreons are still getting there. This is an addition to Patreon, so it's not that I've taken anything away from our Patreons. It's something that's going to be an addition to. And also, if people don't want to be on Patreon but they want to be part of the forum, that's going to be available as well. But there's just some tweaking that I need to do that I'm a little bit unsure of, I've got to be honest. So if any of you out there have got experience with memberships and forums and WordPress and anything to do with computers, then you can get in touch. You might be able to help me out. That'd be fantastic. And I may even offer you free membership to that fantastic forum. It is going to be brilliant, though. It really is. And I'm going to be working on that, hopefully, over the next week to try and get that done. I am genuinely trying to get it sorted out as soon as possible. It's going to appear on our current forum members first, to get them all in and settled, and then it's going to go out to everybody else. And there's going to be different subjects, such as there's going to be a welcome and introduction section, a general chat, restaurant and accommodation recommendations, places to visit. We're going to have a let's get together section, because lots of our home buyers and a lot are here now. Actually, a lot have been here for a while and they're here now, and it would be great to have sort of meetups and things like that when everybody's here. So we're going to have a let's get together section. What's going on? So that's going to be festas and that kind of thing. Business contacts. So if people have had some windows fitted and they've got some people that, I don't know, some recommendations, that's all going to go on there. We're going to have traveling and getting around, taxes and legal stuff, and then a home in Italy notices. So I have mentioned the forum before. It is definitely on its way. And just I have set it up. This is the homepage, the start. As you can see at the moment, there's been 2 topics and 2 posts. Well, that's just me, and just 1 member at the moment, which is just me. But I have been doing it. It is going to be up and running as soon as possible. Liam, my son, is an IT system security manager. That'll do, Troy. We'll get him. He might be able to. This should be a piece of cake, a walk in the park for him. But I really want to get this up and running as soon as possible. Once I've got this software in there that is going to make it a membership thing, rather than anybody just being able to join. Gary's saying, I heard the last bit. I might be able to help if you send details via Facebook. I will. Yeah, no, Gary, we're in touch anyway, aren't we? So yeah, I'll let you know what I'm trying to do, and if you can help. I'm sure I can work it out myself, but if somebody is a bit more experienced than me, I'm sure it would be so much quicker. But that is definitely coming soon. So that's a bit of a catch up for you. I'm afraid that we have got no what's it called? Tony and Domenico's tongue twisting trials. Yeah, unfortunately, Domenico, Wednesdays are difficult for him to do now. So we are going to be replacing that with something. I'm just trying to work out. Tony's quite nervous about it. Are you still nervous, wondering what it is I'm going to replace it with?
Yes. I have no idea what.
It's going to involve assault courses. Is that what they call? They call
Okay, assault courses. Okay. You're not setting up
costumes.
a zip line between me and you, are you?
I'm concerned. No, not between me. I was thinking between you and down the bottom of Plus Bar. That would finish off in the bar.
No, I don't mind that at all.
So we are going to have something to replace that. But let's do, what can we do now? Let's do, Kurt saying, okay, how is the big dig pool project going? I did put a video on. I don't know if any of you saw the update. We have moved on since that video. I put another video on 2 weeks ago. So have a look at that. And then I'm going to be putting another one in another week or two. We've now got, the pool is there. Now it's all about filling in all around the sides. Obviously, we haven't got the pool liner and all that kind of stuff done yet, but the pool basics are there, and it's now filling in and doing all the terracing and that kind of stuff, which we're contemplating when to actually carry on. I think they're going to come back again next week and do some stuff. But yeah, as winter kicks in, we may slow down a little bit. But have a look at the video. I did put a video on a couple of weeks ago. Go onto the YouTube channel. Okay, so let's do what. Hello from Stuttgart. We can't wait to see our house in person. It's Jason. I know it's Jan. When are we doing that, Jason? I think it's January, isn't it? And you can definitely be a meet the home buyers. Absolutely, definitely. Okay, let's do. What shall we do? Oh yes, let's do. It's time to do. What's it called? Tony, what's the name?
Stunning photo of the week.
Stunning photo of the week. See, it is useful, Tony, every now and then. It's stunning photo of the week. So this I got sent. This is a great photo. This actually. And I got this sent by Mike. This is Mike and Barb, and they sent me 2 photographs. And they have they bought a house completely blind, remote buy and everything in Vittorito. They moved in a few weeks ago, and hopefully loving life there. And Mike sent me a message to say there's 2 photos here, and one he did and one his wife did, and I had to choose which one was the best, which is a little bit difficult. I don't like getting in between partners, but this one is, for me, is the favorite. This is a great picture. Look at this. Let me just make me smaller. There you go. I'm sure if Domenico's watching it, there's Vittorito. That's the old town you can see. And this was from their terrace and a beautiful sky behind. Absolutely fantastic photo of Vittorito. I think it is anyway. And then another stunning photo of the week. And this I'm so happy. If you remember last week, we did meet the home buyers with Troy and Tanya, who are watching now while they're putting their IKEA furniture up. And they said that they were doing Halloween in Preza, which was actually called Halloween. That's what they do over in Preza. And they sent me a few photographs. So here you go. We'll have a quick look at these. So this is in the small village of Preza. When people say, oh, there's nobody in these towns, blah, 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 all this rubbish that people like to spout. This looks like a fantastic festa. So this is the photograph. Can you remember when I mentioned the creepy doll in their house? Troy actually did this and sat it on the doorstep. So that is the creepy doll that appeared in Troy's original video. When I did the property video, it was sat on the bed, and he's managed to find it again. And Troy, you're absolutely crazy. You really are. If you remember their house from the front, it's this one here. This was setting up just before people started to come. It looks like they actually had an area around there. I saw them dancing and things like that on some of the photographs. This is just outside their house. I know this is a cantina just up the hill from them. Looks like an absolutely fantastic night. This is the little piazza where they had bands and things like that. This one, if Catherine's watching, then this is just outside her house, looking down towards the bar, which I think they're here at the moment. And then I think what made his night, he bumped into somebody, and guess who it is? It is. It's our man Domenico. who can't make it anymore on a Wednesday night because it's difficult, and this is what he seems to be getting up to. So yeah, this was the Halloween festival, and that little thing that he's wearing, apparently that's what you put your wine glass in, and you go around trying all the different wines. So there you go. We missed that. Fantastic photographs. Thank you so much, Troy, for sending those in. So yeah, just shows a little village like Predsa is on fire. Okay, I think it's time. I think it's time that we get these guys on. Who we're going to start with? We're going to start with Pacentro Pete, because he's back in town from his Schengen shuffle travels, and he's going to tell us all about it. And then we're going to bring in Mark Naida, who's going to give us the good or not so good news about their visa. Here's Pacentro Pete. Good evening.
Here he is. Hey gang.
How are you doing? Are you all right?
Outstanding. Yep. I'm so happy it ought to be illegal.
It's fantastic to see you again. So how long have you been back in Pacentro?
Just I think 3 weeks.
Oh, so you've been here a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
So you've been enjoying this glorious weather.
It's been fantastic. Yeah, a little cool in the evening, but during the daytime, and sitting up in on the terrace in the sun has been fantastic.
It is, and the colors are just amazing out there, especially where you are as well. The colors are absolutely fantastic. Just to remind, before we start talking about the Schengen shuffle and things like that, just to remind people that this is Pacentro, where you are. Your house is sort of down in the bottom left. I don't think we can see it from here. So a couple of shots of Pacentro. Here's the little center that's absolutely beautiful, stunning center. Pete can often be seen, no doubt, outside that bar. I will say no more. And then we've got the best thing about your place, but that I loved on your place, was your terrace. And this is the view from your terrace. Obviously not now. I think this was probably April time, looking at the snow on the mountains. But you really have got an amazing view, haven't you, from your place? Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Is it? I'm presuming the change of colours. It just looks different every time you come. So that's Pacentro. So tell us. I mean, obviously you applied. When did you buy the house? That was a couple of years ago. When was that?
Yeah, 2 years ago. I think it was May or March. Yeah, 2 years ago in 23.
And you applied for your visa at that point, and things didn't work out. Which consulate was it that you applied
Miami.
to? It was in Miami. Okay, okay. And what did they say to you when you went for that?
So I applied as soon as I retired, and so what they wanted to see, what they said was, they said, okay, fine, you've got you meet the minimum requirements, but you don't have 2 years of provable income. In other words, I had just retired, so I was earning good money the year before, but they didn't care about that. They wanted to see two years of steady income that that met their requirements. So
it just seemed it seems crazy. I mean, I know you accepted it. You were absolutely fine with it, but it does annoy me sometimes, because it seems to be whoever you get on the day, because everybody I speak to has different experiences, and it seems to be different excuses. Whether it's that you said, at the end of the day, on their website, it doesn't say that you have to give 2 years worth of thing. It just says you've got to meet the requirements. Is it? Yeah. Was it just? Did they just come back with that, and that was it? Was it a letter, or did they tell you in person?
They sent a letter, actually a very detailed letter that highlighted the different things. There were a couple of things that they were concerned about, but yeah, the different consulates, and they are just completely different. With their requirements. If you look at the requirements for Los Angeles consulate as opposed to Detroit, it's just the minimum amount of money required is just totally different, and the way that they view couples and the income is can be totally different. In other words, some will say, well, okay, it has to be this much plus a certain percentage. Others will say, well, if there's two of you, then you have to have twice the amount of money that we're required. But fortunately, that doesn't apply to me. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is. There does seem to be new, but I've also had some cases of people going to the same consulate and having and having different people. And I've heard Los Angeles people have gone to Los Angeles. They were treated terribly. Went to Texas and got their visa straight away. I think a good step for people moving to Italy is move to Texas first, and then because they seem to be the best. So obviously, I remember when you contacted me and you said that that it had not worked out as planned to start with, but then the Schengen shuffle started. So just explain to people how long they can be in and how long they can be out, and some of the complications with that.
So what you're allowed as an American, I guess, and it's the same with several other nationalities.
Canadian,
But yeah, I'm allowed 90 days out of every 180 days that I can be in the Schengen zone, and in all of the, and that's almost all of the EU. But so 90 days out of 180. And the thing that tripped me up on the first trip that I took is they look forward and backward. So in other words, I had left, 87 days before, I'd left after 87 days in Italy. I went to Japan, I think it was that first trip, and I stayed there 87 days. And I said, cool, I'm fine now. I didn't break the 90 days. Well, when I get back to Italy, they told me it was actually in the Vienna airport. The woman said, hey, looking at when you say you're going to leave next, she said, you will have overstayed. And I went round and around with her, and she explained, finally got it into my head that 87 plus 87 is 174. And if I stayed 90 days in Italy, I would be 6 days over. And it's, there's calculators online that you can use that really help you out in all of this. And
so it's not as straightforward as just saying then 90 days and that you can't just stay for 90 days, disappear 90 days, come back 90 days, disappear.
Well, yeah, if you did that, it'd be perfect. As long as you don't try to like play it safe and put a buffer in there where, say, okay, I'm going to leave after 87 days. I don't want to stay the full 90 just in case a plane gets canceled or something. I was trying to, I was planning ahead. And, but yeah, if you stay for 90 days in Italy and then you're gone for 90 days, you're fine.
So if you leave a buffer, they count some of those. I don't, it's confusing me completely. But if you leave a buffer, so you're better off using the calculator, is what you're saying, basically. So I've heard there's a number of apps and things like that you can use.
Or if you're gonna try to use a buffer, stay in Italy the 90 days, but stay out of Italy, a little more than 90, maybe 95 days. So that when you get back, everybody's happy, and even if you stayed less than 90, you're still not going to be tripping up the calculator.
Right. So where have you been? So on your Schengen travels, where have you? I know we keep in touch sort of often when you're away and things, but which parts have you been going to, and which are your favorites?
So I went to Montenegro and spent 3 months there in Perast and Kotor. It's on the bay, and it's that was a beautiful area. But I was there during the off season, and man, Perast made Pacentro look like a thriving metropolis compared to the amount of people around and the amount of truck. I mean, it was completely dead there. Fortunately, I wasn't going to dance and party and all of that. So that was Montenegro. I've been to Thailand, which I really like. Japan, which I absolutely love. I went to Cambodia to see the Angkor Wat temple complex. That was fantastic, but Cambodia really didn't do anything for me. And then just this last trip, I went to Bali. I'd never been to Bali. I spent 2 months in Bali, and that was probably about 6 weeks too long to spend in Bali. It wasn't horrible. It just, again, it was a kind of a one trick pony. You got the beach, and it was a lot like I think of Cancun being, where it's a an enclave that is purely for tourists. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that was it. But I've come to the conclusion now that I'm gonna settle on Japan and Thailand. Oh, and I went to Kuala Lumpur and Singapore.
Okay, so you've really been traveling. I know your work before you sort of traveled around a little bit, but you've really been doing some traveling. So I know you mentioned earlier that when you've been disappearing for the 90 days, it's not a holiday, is it? It's part. This is you now. This is you living. I suppose that's the difference when you go to some of the holiday resorts that are great for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and but if you're going to be there for 2 or 3 months, obviously a different thing. So you've found in Japan and Thailand, do you feel like it can be home for 3 months?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've done it. I've done, 3 months in Thailand and I've done 3 months in Japan. Thailand is great, very inexpensive. Airbnbs there are really cheap and, very nice and upscale places. Japan is kind of odd that they really don't have Airbnbs. Very few, and they're expensive and they're not really all that attractive. But the hotels in Japan are $50 to $75 a night. And if you use one of the hotel loyalty programs, you can really make some get some savings there.
Right.
So
So it's cheaper. Are you saying that it's cheaper to go and spend time in Japan and these places than it is to go back to the States? It's a lot cheaper.
good Lord, I'm doing a trip in January. I go back to the U.S. for 3 months, and I'm going to try applying for the elective residence visa again. And the cost is just obscene. It's easily 4 times more expensive than going to Thailand, and at least 50% more expensive than going to Japan. And I'm
Really?
thinking, the way I'm looking at it is, if I can go to Japan for half the cost of the U.S., heck, that's a no-brainer. That's why would I? Because I've been in the U.S. I know Florida. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is true. Francis is saying, "What a globetrotter, top man." But I mean, it must be. I know one thing that you surprised me when we were talking a little bit earlier that you said, and I know you're applying for the visa when you go back, but you actually said that you don't mind what happens either way now. Is that
exactly at this point? Because I've settled on Japan and Thailand. It won't break my heart if I don't get it. I'd still, because I think if I got it, I would probably still travel quite a bit. The last year, the summer here was pretty brutal. It was, it was quite hot. I was slipping over there and dipping into your pool, maybe. But
you're more than welcome, Pete. More than welcome.
The winter,
just bring the water. Bring the water.
Yeah. So anyway, I was thinking if that's the case, then I'm not going to be brokenhearted if I, force me to go and spend 3 months a year in Japan.
Right. Superb. So it's Francis is saying, Pete, you should try Goa in India, as cheap as it gets, but quality. So there you go. So you actually, so it's as far as you can see, obviously your future, you're quite happy. If you get the visa, fantastic. You still probably go for a couple of months somewhere in Thailand or Japan, as you say. If you get the visa, are you planning on sort of spending a lot more time here and just sort of going on holidays, or do you think you would make a constant thing of going for long periods of time?
I'd probably spend more time, certainly more time in Pachentro. And the real benefit to having the ERV for me is that it's going to eliminate all of the grief about trying to plan things out perfectly and worrying about whether I've got the days right. And I just this trip to Florida, I don't know what I was thinking, but I messed up my airplane reservations like 3 times, and I had to redo those. And
Well, Bridget has just put up, Tony, did Bridget? I think she put up the name of the app. Is it called apps or in 90 days Schengen? I think it's called there we go. 90 days Schengen. So I'm presuming that's the name of the app if anybody wants to have a look at that. And just to make, because somebody wrote something on saying that 31K is, you can have a good life on that in Italy. So just to put things into perspective, obviously these these consulates are thinning out the numbers coming to a certain extent. And I can understand why, to a certain extent, that you can't just open the doors and let everybody in. But the reality of it is, once you're here and you start to renew, you don't have to prove all of that again like you've done the first time. I mean, the permesso di soggiorno is done more on Italian terms rather than consulates around the world. So the things change quite a lot. But to put it into context for people living in Italy, and I'm going to say Pacentro because that's where you are, somebody's wrote 31K is more than enough to live a good life as a couple, I would say. But I mean, how would you say cost of living is here?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny you ask. I just calculated all my expenses for the last 2 years, and we got everything categorized and everything. And for the last 2 years, in last year, my utility expenses for gas, electric, and water were $1,200 for the year. Now I'm away for 3 months or for 6 months of the year, but still, that's at worst $200.
And that was for 1 year or 2 years?
That was for the entire year, $1,200, and then this year so far it's $1,200. So
right.
You're talking about while I'm here in town, it's what $200 a month. Because I'm here for 6 months, it was $1,200, and then my food bill, groceries.
Obviously, if you're here in summertime, you're not going to use heating and things like that. But sorry, your food, as you were saying, your food bill.
Yeah, food bill is I've been spending $200 a month. That's less than half what it would be in the U.S. And I do all my own cooking, so I mean there's that. I don't go out to eat in restaurants too often, but it's just so cheap.
And
so
you're buying. Would you say you're buying good quality food? Are you buying? You're not sort of budgeting?
Oh no, right. I know I don't look at prices. As a matter of fact, here at Diana is the she runs our local little market, and she doesn't even tell me what the total is. I just give her my card, and and she swipes it in, so we're all good. But yeah, there's never been any of course I can go down to Sulmona and get some unusual stuff that I might not pick up here.
So a lot of that is local shopping as well. That potentially could be 20% more than what you could get if you went to some of the supermarkets. So it is.
Oh yeah, exactly. And that was part of the deal that I made with myself when I moved here. Was I said, look, to the extent possible, I'm going to spend my money here in Pacentro. And so I don't want to go grocery shopping in Sulmona and all. And so to the extent that I can, I shop locally. And then we have the fish truck comes tomorrow. The guy selling fish, and cheese was today, and we got vegetables. So each day of the week there's a vendor that comes, really nice setup and a truck and everything. They sell.
I think it's brilliant that these smaller villages have things like that. I think it's fantastic when they come, because it's all great quality stuff as well, isn't it? Usually locally sourced. Brilliant. Okay, Pete. Well, thank you so much for coming on and giving us an update. So you're going to be here. I think you said that you're going to be here for Christmas this year. So when do you leave? Is it just
January 12th? I leave and I come back on. I think it's April 14th.
And where's the? Oh, you're going back to Florida, you say?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to Florida, and so I do want to. I'm anxious to hear how long in advance folks were able to get an appointment in Miami, because I've been looking. Every time I look, there's nothing available. I just don't know if there's a
I will ask. Yeah, I would say definitely keep looking. I know there's certain times of year when it's difficult. I'll ask Mark on the next. Mark and Naida will ask them, and so keep listening, Pete, and we'll catch up with you really soon. Thank you so much for coming on again. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna, when I do this now, it's gonna kick you off the stream, unfortunately. So it's all very harsh, but thanks anyway, and we'll see you really soon. Hopefully, Mark and Naida are gonna answer some of those questions. Thanks a lot, Pete. Really appreciate you coming on.
Take care.
We'll see you again. See you soon. Love Pacentro, Pete. What a guy. Absolutely brilliant. So that's the Schengen shuffle part out of the way. Now it's time to bring on Mark and Naida, and they're going to let us know what's happened on the other side of things when it comes to visa. Here they are. Good evening.
Good evening. Good to hear you. But the problem is we're going to answer all of potential Pete's questions, but he probably isn't on phone now, because he can't hear.
No, I think hopefully he can log back in now.
Okay,
I know it's quite nasty. I've just booted him straight off, and it's terrible. But hopefully, we'll save potential Pete's question for another 5 minutes, just to make sure he then logs on. I'm sure he will be able to. So we'll answer. So Pete, if you're watching now, then obviously we'll leave it 5 minutes. If you're not watching, then you're not going to know what I'm saying, so you don't really care anyway. Anyway, let's move on, guys. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much. Naida, you've got that nice star above your head. That huge star.
We're looking forward to seeing you. Looking forward to being back there. We really miss Capistrano, so we look forward to get back there.
Superb. So just to let everybody, just to remind people, this is the beautiful, stunning Capistrano, which is you love it, don't you? Oh, Pete's still there. He said, I'm still here, Pete. So we're going to come to your question soon. So we've got Capistrano. Just to give everybody a quick reminder of your house as well, which is this one. I'm sure people can remember the video. The view that I've got, the view is stunning from your place, but this is the old photograph, so there's still trees. I know you've trimmed some of these back.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's a lot better now. I cleaned all those out. Naida and I sit on this side of the pool. We practice our Italian, and we look out there into that gorgeous panorama, trying to concentrate on our Italian.
Okay, but just for those green people, because I mean, none of us like taking trees down, but I think it was more trimming, wasn't it? Was it sort of trimming and slightly moving around?
Let's just say that I talked to the squirrels, and they had another place to go to.
And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I actually believe that he did. With some of the messages you sent me, Mark, I would nothing would surprise me.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, baby.
So you've been doing the Schengen shuffle as well, haven't you? Over the last how many months? When did you buy? 1 year. Okay, November, so you. Last year. Okay, where did you go on your Schengen shuffle?
Albania, Tirana, and we spent a total of about 4 months there.
Okay, which I know you said it was convenient and everything else, but wasn't your ideal location, should we say?
No, it was busy. It was not as clean as we would like. Lots of people. Fortunately, where we stayed was really nice, and we had an alimentare just 1 block away. So I mean, it made it great. We had a grocery store close. We could fly in and out from Pescara easily, but
everything was very convenient, and our place was newly renovated completely, so it was like an oasis in the middle of a big busy city. So that was very, very nice, and we're grateful to the Airbnb owners of that apartment.
Superb. So you've both been very diplomatic. Great answers, that, by the way. Really. You could tell you're dying to say something, but anyway, no, we're moving on. We're not gonna say anything negative. So, can you give everybody your story? So, you've done the Schengen shuffle. You've been doing that. Tell everybody about when you planned, when you contacted the consulate. Obviously, if you can answer Pete's question, is that how long it took to get appointments and all the rest of it? It was at Miami, wasn't it? Is that correct? If you can,
correct.
We were in the process. What you did and when.
Yeah, we knew that we needed to go to Miami because Miami takes about the lower 8 or 9 states in the southeast of U.S., and we lived in Atlanta for 22 years. So what we had to do was we had to get online to get an appointment. So about 1 month before we planned to return to the U.S. to start this process, I started getting on this link that is on the consulate. All of the consulates have the link. And every time I would get on, they would say there are no appointments available, no appointments available. So out of frustration, I talked to a few people and realized, I need early in the morning to try to get on and just keep doing it every single day. And at some point in time, it will stop saying there are no appointments available, and you'll be able to set an appointment. That process probably took only 2 weeks. Now, I did it off and on for a month, and then I started doing it every single day. When I started doing it every single day is when I had results.
So when you say early in the morning, what time? It's actually crazy that, because in Italy, anything you need to do, like if you hospital appointments, if you need to book anything, like Silvana, she is on it always early. And she always says, if you leave it any later, if it's not first thing in the morning, you'll get nowhere with anybody. What time did you start?
I started doing it at 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, we were in Italy at the time for part-time, but I started doing it at 6 o'clock in the morning, and eventually I got an electronic notice that said there are appointments available. So I immediately put an appointment down for me, and it didn't feel like it was going to be an appointment for me and for Naida. So I immediately, after I set my appointment, I immediately got back on, and thankfully there was another appointment scheduled for 20 minutes later. So I set up Naida for that appointment. And it was interesting because the appointment that we had set up was 1 month after we returned to the US. So that meant we could visit with family for a month. And then we went down to Miami, and we went down to Miami with 2 big binders, separate binders for one another, of all of the requirements. And Nate is very pedantic about this. She got the requirements. We listed them in order. We put them in a binder along with dividers. We're very anal about making sure all that was done right. And then, as I was thinking about it,
sorry to interrupt, but just because you broke up in my ear, just to say, but did you've done this on your own? You didn't do it with any solicitor's help, any relocation specialist, anything like that? So what did you do? To get the criteria, did you get that all from the consulate's website?
Correct. The process was really pretty simple, but it was a lot of work, because we got the list of requirements from the consulate's websites, and all the consulates have the same that information. So we took that information, and then we listened to a lot of people that had been on, just to figure out what was going on. Like, for one thing, I was scared about from potential Preet. He had shared that they wanted to see 2 years worth of history. Well, Naida just went on retirement in July, 2 months before we even went there. So we were really careful about the way we put all that information together. I kind of put my salesman hat on a little bit. I wanted to make sure that we gave them the information in a way that would look more positive and upbeat to them. I even, they didn't ask for this at all, but I went to our sindaco, the mayor of our town, and we'd gotten to know him a little bit and got to know Giancarlo, his vice mayor. And I put just together a couple of little tiny notes of what their letter should say. And I asked him to do just a little, letter recommendation. And he put together an entire page, all kinds of things, because he has seen us in the piazza, mingling with people, getting involved with them, not sticking to just the expats, but getting involved with the. He is
to assimilate into the community.
He has seen us practicing our Italian. He has seen us trying to speak Italian. He even said in there, their Italian is a lot better now than it was when they arrived in November. It was a great letter, I tell you. Yeah. So we put that right on
fantastic top. It's a fantastic idea as well, because I'm not sure how much the consulates will look at it, but anything like that, I think a long time, Lexi and Craig, who were the first people on when we started doing these webinars, they said they, like what you did, put as much information as you can, make it as simple as possible so they can put their hands on pretty much anything, and a few sort of nice letters and things like that does. And I think if any of you out there that are thinking, well, how can we get that from our mayor? Maybe that is good. Maybe you'd be surprised. I think most towns and villages, especially the ones that we know, I think the mayors would be up for that, because at the end of the day, the mayors want you here, don't they? They're excited for you to come. And I'm sure the locals are as well. So if that helps bridge that gap, then bring it on. So obviously you got all your files together. That you went down the list and was there anything else extra that you put in there that you think might be able to help people?
We did put a copy of our return flight back to Italy. And interestingly, they didn't list that in their requirements, but we had heard that other consulates required it. So we went ahead and put it in there. And interestingly, when we received we did get our visa. We haven't talked about that.
Go on, tell everybody. It's fine.
So we did get our visa actually last Wednesday, but when we received the our passport back with the visa stamp in it, it had our return date, or our visa starts the day we land back in Italy. Now that was before we pushed our flight out because we were afraid we weren't going to hear in time, so we went ahead and pushed our flight out. But they used that date as the start date for our visa.
And it reminded me of someone else we've heard on your program who said that they received their visa 2 days before they were supposed to fly back to Italy.
Yeah.
So they look at all that stuff. Yeah, they look at all that stuff. And so the process went very, very simply once we got there. There was a woman who was in charge of making sure people were kicked out of the room down below that needed to not be there. She was a little harsh, but it made me just want to come alongside her and say thank you for all your work and act like a salesman. And she really liked us eventually. Yeah. But we had a great time because all we did was we went up the elevator to the consulate, and there were two groups of us. One group was getting things done at a consulate like you would normally, the typical consulate things. But the other side was for visas. And when they called our name, we both went up there and we gave them the information. And he made it clear. He said, look, I'm not reviewing your information. I'm just gathering it.
So it was more like an intake appointment.
Mm-hmm. Right. So not the actual decision. But did they take your passport from you?
Yes, they did.
Because I've been told that is the moment when you've got. So I've been told that because that's the only reason why they take your passport off you. So they did. Pete's just asking, how long did it take to hear back from them?
I'm getting ready to tell him, I'm holding him in suspense.
He loves that.
First of all, one of the things we did and this was a brilliant idea that Naida had. The envelope that we gave them was a United States Postal Service, like FedEx, but USPS. So it had a tracking date on it. So I was able to check that tracking date to find out when they put it in the mail to us.
Right.
So anyway, it took 5 weeks and 2 days from the day we gave them the information to receipt of our passport with the ERV inside of it.
Superb. So the actual interview, if you want to say that, then is not really an interview. It's going there and you saying, look, I've got this, them asking if you've got X, Y, Z. How did that, is that how the meeting goes?
Well, one additional thing that we had to do when we went there was they gave us another form to fill out, which had a lot of the same questions that the application had. Basic personal information. One thing that they asked for was a credit score, which was not listed in the requirements. And on that intake application,
the credit report was another.
Right. Well, no, on the list of requirements, they didn't list that we needed to include a credit report. But when I guess it was just 2 days before our appointment, we received an email and they said, oh, you need to also send us or include a credit report, which we did. But then in the intake application thing, it asked for a credit score,
which we hadn't gotten.
And our credit report didn't list a credit score. So we went, when they had asked for some additional information, which was like 3 days after our intake appointment, we went ahead and gave them that just to make sure, because it was on that application and we couldn't provide it at that time, that they had that. But yes, we had to fill out that application and turn that in along with our passports. And they also took our fingerprints.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, when they start doing things like that, I mean, I don't know if they do that to everybody, or but that's probably something I should have asked Pacentro Pete if you're still on there, Pete. I mean, I don't know if when they refuse you, if they do fingerprints or anything like that as part of it. That would be interesting to know, because everything you're saying seems to gear up. It's almost like the person thinks, well, this person's got a really good chance of getting this, so let's do all these things to get you going. So I've never heard anybody that's not got a visa that had to have fingerprints and things like that. So it'd be interesting to know if you're still watching.
So there's another couple that we had met when we were staying in Riano, and they were ahead of us. They had applied for theirs. I don't think it was through Miami.
No.
It was, I can't remember where. They were from Colorado, I think. Anyway, they didn't hear for 100 days. And I know in Miami, they say they have up to 90 days to make a decision. But it took them 100 days, and then they got refused. So they didn't even find out until after 100 days that they got refused. And they got refused because of the income. They had applied before the change requirement, and they did the 31K plus a percentage. And so that's why they got denied. So we saw that change on social media. So we came prepared with that, but that is a requirement now. It's 31K per person, husband and wife, or, two partners or whatever.
What we did do, though, to assuage that extra amount that's over and above our Social Security, is we just got 2 annuities, and we made sure that the annuities pay us a monthly amount that exceeds that 31,000 euros. So it was really pretty easy. The reality of what we're trying to do is really pretty easy, because it's just it's all lined up. Whether you can dot the I's and cross the T's, but I also think that part of the issue is, for us, the incredible, overwhelming relief now that it's done. It was amazing, gargantuan weight off of our shoulders.
I can imagine, because I mean, obviously, you bought the house, you've done everything. Your life is here, isn't it? I know that every time you go, you send me messages that you're all sad and all the rest of it. So it must be a huge relief, definitely. And I was so happy. In fact, I'm surprised. I was very surprised that you didn't contact me at whatever silly time in the morning you found it. I think you let me know, or you thought you'd sent me a message or something and it didn't go. But yeah, the relief must be incredible. But I just want to go back on something you've just said, because I think it's quite important for other people. So without going into sort of too many personal details, so your income requirements wasn't quite enough, but obviously you had, because here they don't seem to. If you could have 10 million in the bank, that doesn't count, does it? It doesn't count. It's actual income that's coming in on a monthly basis. And apparently the reason behind that is because if you got however much money in your bank, you could go and spend it all tomorrow, and then you'd have nothing. So I can understand why they do that. So you bought annuities to you say, and then to then get money back each month. Is that what you did to get over that?
Precisely. Their annuities have been around forever. It's just an insurance policy. In the past, annuities have been a really, really bad investment. But over the last 5 or 10 years, the annuities have changed. And no, I'm not an insurance salesman, but annuities have changed. And so we found some really, really good annuities that we could buy that actually allow us to stay in control of our money, and yet they send guaranteed payments to us every single month. And so it was just a simple annuity that we got, one for each other, so that we made sure we exceeded the amount. What I did is when you look at the consulates, They have a quarterly amount that they are saying this is the exchange rate for this quarter. Yeah. So I took the exchange rate for that quarter and multiplied it by like 10 or 15% more than what they were saying they wanted to have. And we made sure that our passive income exceeded that amount. Right. And once we made sure that that was the case, and we knew we had more than the amount of money that they would want, even if the exchange rate changed at the next quarter. So that was something that we wanted to make sure we did. But the way we supplanted that income was with 2 annuities.
Right. Great idea. But again, this, and I know what you're saying with this 31K thing, but I've heard recently a story where they were well under that as a couple. They stuck to, and I'm not sure if it was Miami or wherever it was, and they stuck to the old one, and they still got a visa. So again, it just seems to be, I just don't understand. There just doesn't seem to be any hard and fast rule to it. And and then it gets weirder when you come here, because then people worry that they've got to keep showing that every year, and it's nothing like that when you do your.
Yeah, it's going to be nothing to do the renewal. It just simply is getting the carabinieri to come on out and make sure your house isn't a crack home.
Yeah. In short, yeah. but yeah, it just seems to be, you hear so many different stories, so many people and then people that have bought properties here to show income that's coming in here, and that's helped them. The fact that they've had more than one property. Then another consulate said that, and that was, I think this is going back a couple of years ago now, but that was in LA, that they didn't care even if you had 50 properties. Just seems to be weird. But the one consulate that seems to come up all the time is Texas, that they seem to be more lenient than anybody, and I have no idea why. But they seem to be the ones that seem to let things go through. But there you go. I suppose you're in somebody else's hands that are much bigger than mine. So, but
and that's a great point, especially coming from the U.S. We're really paranoid about not wanting to be the quote typical Americans unquote. We want to come on over and assimilate with we don't expect anybody to speak English. And so when we went to the consulate, our entire attitude was, hey, what can we do to make sure this happens the way you want it to happen? And we've been very fortunate. We've got friends around us that are helping us even when we get to our permesso di soggiorno. Our next door neighbor works in that department in L'Aquila. So, we're just
and
very,
not
very
directly. So she can't give us.
Yeah, she can't give us it.
No,
but she used to be in that area, so she's familiar with the process. So she's guiding us through the process, which is very helpful.
That's great.
No,
it's superb. Definitely super. That's usually Silvana's job. She goes down to the to immigration in Pescara. But yeah, I mean, once it gets to that point, it is so much easier, and even when it comes to incomes and things like that, people just need to see what it actually states on everybody's I would say everybody's website when it comes to the consulates is not adequate in what's the phrase that they use, but basically enough income to be able to live in I can't remember the phrase that they use, but they all say it. But then, and that seems to be where this difference is on the income requirements, because most of them don't tend to actually write what that is. They'll just put adequate income, and that's up for interpretation on so many levels.
We didn't actually find out what the specific number was until 2 days before our appointment, when they sent us a follow-up email to remind us of our appointment and a reminder that we had to meet 31,000 euros. So it's not published on any of the information on the website, and we're just hoping that we had the right amount.
Yeah.
Fierce Tree Farms. Yes, it is for the ERV, the elective residency visa.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hey, I know you need to go, but you brought up the tours. Can I just pat you on the back? The tours are to die for. In fact, Naida and I had already decided which home we wanted to buy, which we say we would never do. We said we would never buy a home sight unseen, but we both decided what we would do. And then when we went on your tour, because we already knew the house we were going to buy, but when we went on your tour, we were able to do something that we didn't expect. The very last home you showed us, David, was the home that was our second choice. And oh, baby, it was a far second choice once we saw it. It was great to do that, to do the tours. I recommend for anybody who's just interested, do the tours because you learn so much. And the other thing that you talk a lot about is Patreon. And you and I've had this discussion already, so I don't mind disagreeing with you live. You always say it's Patreon is for those who are ready to buy. I disagree. Patreon is for anybody who's interested because there's so much information that you get. And I'm looking forward to you getting this new forum started because I want to help with that. For example, when we got our ERV, the first thing I wrote in my journal was, we have our ERV, now what? The other thing I wanted to know, where are all of the daily markets in the towns around us? Well, you know what? There are a lot of things, David, that we'll be able to do to kind of work together to really make that forum useful to people. That's a great idea that you've had.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what we want. We want input from people that's living here, input from people that like yourselves that's getting ready to live here, and that's what it's all going to be. That's what it's all about. That's exactly what it's all about. Troy is just saying Canada. It's 31K plus 8K for spouse. And it says that on the website. Again, it's open. I think people just need to have a look and just hope you get somebody nice. But yes, you guys, thank you so much for giving up so much time again. You've come on. Paul Fields, greetings from Dublin, Republic of Ireland. That's my wife's uncle, Paul. It's Uncle Paul. If that's what we need to call him from. Paul, whenever you write now, you just go write Uncle Paul. Uncle Paul from Dublin. Then we all know who he is.
Uncle Paul.
Uncle Paul and Auntie Silvana, because she's got the same name as my wife. So there you go. Yeah, so thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm just so happy that you've got this visa and you're coming out and you don't have to stress about leaving or anything else. You can now start living the life that you've wanted. I'm really excited for you both. Exactly. So you're coming over on just before Christmas, did you say?
We leave the US on December 10th, so we'll be in Italy on the 11th.
Superb. And then it's just you'll go when you decide to go.
Hey, like the new phrase I told you I'm practicing. Per sempre.
Exactly.
Forever.
Brilliant. I'm so happy for you both. I really am. And hopefully we'll be able to see you at some point. Now you come in per sempre, and hopefully we'll still do that pool thing. Maybe we should do a freezing cold when it snows. If it snows, then we'll come over and we'll have a dip in your pool, and we can do a video from there, and then come over to ours and we'll try it in ours.
It sounds like a deal, my friend.
Have a bit of fun.
All right.
Okay. So good to hear from you both. We'll see you really soon. And once you're back out, maybe you could be part of the Christmas get together that we have on here. We have a live one just the week before Christmas. Come on, that as well.
We'll be there.
Brilliant, excellent. Thank you so much for giving up your time, and we'll speak really soon.
Ciao.
Ciao, buona serata.
Bye. There you go. Another fantastic couple, Mark and Naida. Love them to bits. Just as everybody else are fantastic, to be honest with you. I hate saying clients. It's a horrible word. Well, it's not, but you know what I'm trying to say. Our friends is the right thing. They're everybody. And I'm going to put my neck out. I think I'm going to say, would you say everybody? Maybe not quite everybody's.
Not
really
not
nice.
Quite, but
99.999%.
Yeah.
I'm not saying who's not. I'm not going to go down that line. But no, joking aside, people are absolutely fantastic. And everybody has the same thing, that they want to be part of a community and part of the Italian way, as well as obviously mingling with each other as well. And I really do. I think it's a great thing, and I think it's a great thing to try and get that across when you are when you're applying for visas and things like that, to see what you can offer, not just take. And I know all of you will want to be able to offer something. It's like near where we are in Palombaro. There's expats that help the kids at school with English. It's superb. There's things that they do. I saw a post on Facebook, I think it was, for Introdacqua, where the expats there had put a big Halloween party on for all the kids, because Halloween's fairly new here, and they sort of did it the American stroke English stroke Canadian way and all the rest of it, and it's great to see things like that, and I think it's so important. I think it was a great idea that Mark said about including sort of letters from mayors and things that all could be done. It all does help. It just shows that you want to give something back, and I think the main thing to take from this is one person's appointment will always be different to the next. I hear it all the time. Barbara mentioned that she was under the Francis just saying the forum should include travel advice. We are doing that. That's going to be part of it as well, Francis. Sorry, I just quickly saw that. But Barbara wrote something on here to say that she was under the financial requirements, but she showed a projected thing that amounts that were going to come in once she hit a certain age, and she got in from that. Again, that was from Texas, and I know she didn't have to go into the office, but that was times of COVID. Maybe things were different then, maybe they're not. We hear so many different things. Potential Pete tonight telling us that he was told they had to have 2 years, yet Naida's got hers, and she hadn't been retired for 2 years. The main thing to do is follow everything that it says on that website. Take it all neatly done, all in just be as I don't know what the word is, but just put everything in there that you can. Make it so easy for people to be able to flick from one to another, because put an Italian in an office and they're not the most patient people in the world. So I could imagine people looking at it, and if everything's perfect, I could imagine them using the famous word that says, meno male, which means, thankfully, at least somebody's done something right. So I think if you present it that way, go by what's off the website. Don't listen to everything that everybody else says, and I'm sure Mark and everybody else that's got visas would say the same. Obviously you've got to do it your way, and you could have a completely different experience to them. But just go prepared, put as much in as possible, and then sell yourself. And I think that is to me, that's some fantastic advice that's in there, and they've proved they've done it, and lots of other people have done it, and we've had. Probably, I would say in the last 3 weeks, I've heard from more people that have got visas than I have for the last few months, which I think is good news. So go for it, change your lives, move to Abruzzo, because you will absolutely love it. And the reason why everybody's going to all these efforts is just because it's a fantastic place to live. Okay, guys, that's the end. Thank you so much. We've gone a little bit over time, haven't we? Sorry about that. Thanks for your usual support. We've got some fantastic properties coming up on Saturdays. This Saturday, I've got a number of videos that are just incredible. Some real amazing properties coming up. Have a look at Patreon. I hate pushing Patreon because it is a paid for thing. I know Mark said you should be pushing it. You should be pushing it, and I want to. And it's not. It's €14 per month. And I'm sure once the forum is included in that as well, it's already, in my opinion, great value for money. Once the forum's there, even better. And then there's going to be a separate one for people that just want to join the forum. But yeah, we're just trying to get as many people here as possible to this incredible area. Thank you so much for your support, and we will see you all next week with Meet the Home Buyers. And it's a couple that have got a place in Palombaro, a fantastic couple. Really look forward to speaking to them next Wednesday at the same time. And the even better news is that Tony's not going to be here because he's on his holidays from tomorrow. Have a good holiday.
Yay!
You did say that you did say you would come on next week.
Yeah. I should be live from, hopefully, Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. There you go.
He says.
Oh, if you're not, that means you're locked up somewhere. Have a good time, mate. Enjoy yourself.
Will do, boy. No,
we'll see you. We'll see you. Hopefully, we'll see you. See you next week.
Yeah. No, you will.
What were you saying?
No, you will do. I'll make sure you do see me.
I was trying to be nice, but not that nice. Anyway, thanks everybody. Thanks so much for your support again. We'll see you all really soon.